welcome to our second podcast of XR Labs. We're here on a very special occasion on a rainy day, here interviewing our second guest, Alisa Christine, one of Miami's top visionary artists in VR, meditation, and sound healing with technology. Thank you, Alisa, for coming through.
Thank you for having me here. It is quite an honor and an adventure. Very happy.
Absolutely.
Making this happen.
Same here. We're all big fans of your work. You know, I've seen you working on VR art since VR Loft, which was a great VR arcade in Wynwood. And I just want to make a quick introduction to, you know, how you became a VR artist, and then we'll go on to what just recently happened. So how did you get into VR art?
That, you know, do you want I'm gonna give you the untold story as of yet. So,
Please.
Okay. Once upon a time in, I believe it was like 2010, 2011. So this is going to be my story of how I made everything happen. So I was a part of a collective art gallery co-op in Miami Beach, and it was called the Soul Gallery at the Can Do Arts Co-op. In any case, I remember one day hanging out with some of the artists, or one of the other artists, and telling him, wouldn't it be cool? And he did work with spray paint and murals. And I was like, wouldn't it be cool if we can spray like a vapor in the air and it would just stay there? And then it could be like this sculpture kind of a thing. And then you could just keep creating things, and like you could mold it and shape it and in the air. And so I think that's when my virtual reality art experience started, because I was envisioning being able to create things all around me. And I had not seen VR art or tilt brush. To be honest, I'm not even sure when tilt brush came out. But now I have a smoke tool that I can paint with smoke, and I have to put puffy clouds all around me and they stay there. and they even move with the music. So, you know, that's a real imaginative answer for you.
Wow, that's awesome.
But that's what happened. I mean, it was one of my visions that I was like, you know, wouldn't that be an interesting way to create? And then years later, I had an opportunity to participate in an art festival in Costa Rica. And they were looking for someone to paint in virtual reality. And it was at the Tamarindo Art Wave Festival. And they were one of the first people in Costa Rica to have an HTC Vive and to be working with tilt brush. And they wanted someone to perform live. So not having painted except for in a pop-up trying tilt brush at a party here in Miami, I told them I would be really interested to try, and they got me to the festival a week in advance, and I taught myself how to paint in a week, and then I did a live performance. Wow! So that's how it started.
So you started your first piece of your first painting in Costa Rica, and was it Envision?
It was not Envision. It was called the Tamarindo Art Wave Festival.
Okay.
So it was a real interesting festival because it were the organizers were people from Miami. Well, not from Miami, but they had also had galleries in Miami. So they're very familiar with Art Basel and the whole, you know, art experience, performance, mixed media vibe. And they created a similar experience in this beach town, right on the beach in Costa Rica. And it was amazing because they had mixed media tent, they had video installation tent, they had VR, obviously the VR performance where I did that on the stage, and then they had live music. It was a really cool thing. It was nice to see this really fun vibe, very, you know, very artistic expression in Costa Rica. It was fun.
Cool. And okay, so you mentioned that about tilt brush. So in case our audience doesn't know, and by the way, guys, if you have any questions, please let us know on the comment section. Tiltbrush is a software made by Google right when HTC Vive came out and the original Oculus. And it was like an incredible piece of software that's still being used today by artists like Elisa. And it's really cool. And if you want to check it out, we're gonna go into it later in this segment to show you guys how it looks from in the VR experience. But now we want to head into after what happened, after all these events that continually happened, where you're painting art and stuff. How did you? When did you start your first event here in Miami?
So I came back from Costa Rica and I did not have any equipment. I wanted to really start painting, and I started looking for people who, who was doing VR, and the Loft VR. They had an arcade and I connected with them, and they were actually looking for artists to participate in like a residency program. So I was going there and I was painting there whenever I was able to use the equipment when they weren't being rented. And I started doing little shows there and viewings there. And it was awesome because they had a bunch of stations and we had, little gatherings. And that's when I started. So that was in 2018, because I started in January 2018, was at the festival. And I came back to Miami. So I'm not even sure, but I know it's in my event page, I could tell you. But, a few months after, we started doing some events, and I even did like a little music video release party. I did a music video out of one of my paintings. And so we had a live performance where he played the music, and then people could go into the video, into the VR, and experience the video. That video is online. It's on YouTube. It's called Maddie's World.
I remember that you got into AR applications as well, right?
Yeah, I had been really trying to get the AR to work with my paintings, and finally I was able to get it into some apps. So I have a few pieces in Arise and also in Artivive. And, I'm still scratching the surface there because I really have some really interesting ideas. They just take a little bit more time to develop. So I'm waiting to really have the time to do it right. And then I want to put some more stuff out in AR. So, but yeah, I mean, I have a cosmic flower. You can put it in the middle of the room, spin it around, stand inside of it. And I've had some fun with that. And a bee that pops out of a painting. And then I also have, this one.
Wow.
Can you see that?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's the seed of life, right?
Yeah, so I have a VR piece. It's a little dark, but you get the idea. You can see this one on my website. And this one is an AR video, and it's with the music of Momentology. And so that's another little project that I'm working on, and I'm working on putting a little video AR piece together with that one. And his song is called The Seed. And I was painting the seed of life, and I was listening to his music, and I was just already listening to the music while I was painting it. And then I contacted him and I'm like, listen, I got this idea. And so we're developing the concept. It's been in the works for quite some time.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you normally work with artists in this way? I'm curious, would you be open to doing more pieces with artists in that way?
I love working with musicians. So, my art background goes back many years, and I'm a professional photographer, and I've done so many photo shoots with musicians. They were like one of my favorite topics, I think. So to be able to work with musicians with this is even more fun, because now we can collaborate and co-create, because the music activates the artwork. So yeah, and I'm actually starting a project with another musician that we're beginning our conversations to do a music video. It's like this close to starting. So I'll give you more details once we actually get it in the making. So that's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to that. It's like the concepts are coming out pretty cool so far. So
that's great. That's awesome. That's one of the great things about being an immersive artist, right? you can get into all these formats and immersive technologies. Um,
And being able to play with other artists, you know, there's so many things that we can do.
yeah, it's like the I think we could like be in a new renaissance, honestly, with the amount of things that you can do with spatial technology. Okay, so I want to get to the tournament because you know, all of us here at XR Labs, we have been, you know, immersed in this like epic 4 month tournament build up for Tilt Brush tournament, and it's one of those events that, you know, that we just dream of. Like, it's the world's first Tilt Brush tournament, and you're one of the participants. Tell us how that happened, please.
Well, okay. I I wanted to participate in I found out about this, it was the global VR Tilt Brush tournament, and I wanted to participate, although there was no venue in Miami. So, you know, I pretty much had resolved that I was going to go to the one location in South Carolina that was closest to here. But thankfully, I called to check before I bought my ticket. Like, I was about to buy the flight. I was like, I'm just going to go. And then the next day I was like, you know, let me just check. And they told me they canceled the venue. So I started the conversation, you know, it's like, well, how can is there a way to get a venue? Can we do it in Miami? And so the organizer, Paul Rock, he suggested that if we can get a community event together, that, you know, it would be a great location to do something in Miami. So of course, then I got in touch with you guys and Miami VR Expo, and we all began this collaborative effort to get that tournament started. So that's how it, you know, came into life. So, you know, shout out to the Blockchain Center for, you know, originally being the host. That didn't happen. And then Bits and Tokens, who came through in the end. We converted it into an online tournament, and man, Jerome, he pulled it together. And you guys for helping us promote, and Scarlett and ArtServe for helping promote and also offering prizes. And let's see, Michelle helped with the VR Expo. So yeah, it turned into a really fun project overall. You know, it was really nice to be a part of that, and then to just be able to connect with the system of more VR artists worldwide. And yeah, so it turned out to be a really cool thing, and here we are now.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it was definitely a community event, and it was really fun seeing everyone come together. You know, in the middle of you know, once in a lifetime epidemic. You know, witnessing, you know, this like fusion of talented technology and art, and you know, I think like it's really connecting us like farther in the community, and it's great. Hey, so before we talk about more about the tournament, I have a question that I've been pondering about. Why do you think Tilt Brush has become this like global phenomenon, like apart, you know, apart from any other VR art or platform?
So I'm not sure why it's become what it is. I can tell you my experience, why I like it and why I enjoy it, because I know there's other apps out there that people are using and they're excelling in. Me personally, you know, I enjoy the organic nature of Tilt Brush. So Tilt Brush being a virtual reality, techie type experience, is very organic to me, because it is like painting, you know? So every stroke that I make is a stroke. And my experience, art background, I enjoy painting, and I enjoy the organic nature of a flow. And this is flowing with light. And, you know, that's why I enjoy it so much. And I love the transparency of the Tilt Brush and the movement in Tilt Brush. So there are some apps that have more animation abilities, but you've got to program it. And I'm not into that. I just like Tilt Brush does what it does, and then you can flow with it as, you know, I use it for what it gives me. That's why I like tilt brush. I think it has a lot of flexibility, you know?
Yeah, there's so much resources you can use. Also, like Google Poly, for example. You can resize items just by doing like a motion like this. You know, it's like I think it's definitely Google at its best when it comes to VR and all that. So let's go on to the tournament. So we hosted the tournament. It was how long? Like 45 minutes, right?
We painted for 45 minutes.
And it was
straight.
like 4 participants.
Yeah, there were 4 of us, and yeah, it was a ride.
Yeah, it was
Intense ride.
definitely. It was like we watched it through Zoom, and you know we were kind of watching the almost like a behind the scenes production, and you know it was definitely interesting. Who were the participants, the artists?
We had Chris Pilcher, who's from Atlanta, and DJ Reactivity, who's a Miami-based DJ and tilt brush artist, and he works in a lot of other VR art mediums, and so does Chris. Chris has some really cool projects. And Jerome Dallas, Jerome was with Bits and Tokens, and you know, Jerome was hosting the live stream and competing at the same time. So the fact that live stream went down was like, wow, you know, I'm so grateful for every moment that worked out.
Yeah, you know, I think it's really cool that you tell us, like, you know, what happened behind the scenes and all that, because it's like a struggle to do virtual productions. You know, it's like this new field, and we're all learning, and that's what's so cool about it. You know, like we're all in this together, and you know, it really brings out the passion in all the artists. You know. So it turns out that the winner is you. So the cat is out of the bag. On that note, Scarlett, can we play the video? Was amazing. First of all, congratulations. How does it feel to be the winner?
It feels really wild, to be honest. I am really grateful for sure, and fascinated. I mean, it's really cool. And you know, this is not my first tilt brush win. I had a tournament prior to this one, and I won first place as well. So this is now my second win doing some live tilt brush painting.
And this was for the the East Coast? Like it was for
So it was with an organization called VR Art Live,
uh-huh.
and they ran an online tournament, global online tournament, and it was a bunch of different artists, and the tournament was held in Discord. So everybody logged in, and it was a 1 hour live painting, and it was interesting because that was my first online live painting experience. So I had to learn a little bit about Discord and all of that other stuff as well. And the winners were by vote. So it was really like, it was an intense thing. It's like we painted for an hour. We had to submit our artwork into Poly within 10 minutes, or else you didn't make it, right? So some people, they painted, but they never made it into Poly, so they weren't considered. And then we had maybe, I think it was like a half an hour, an hour open of voting. And so that's how that tournament went. And I won that tournament. And that was another surprise. I was just like, I mean, I didn't believe really that the message when I was reading it. I was like, I just want to make sure I read that correctly. You know, I had to double confirm. And the same thing with this tournament. I was like, okay, thank you, you know? So it's, for me, I am just grateful for the Most High channeling this energy through me so that I can express it in a way that is welcoming and enjoyed by other people. That's one of the best gifts that an artist can get, is this recognition of their talent, of their gift, of their expression. Me personally, you know, I'm so into sharing the light and love, and you know, and it's nice to see that people are seeing it and they're getting it and receiving it well. So that for me is a blessing. So yeah.
Definitely. Well said. Well said.
Thank you.
So on that note, I think that maybe let's start going to VR. Let's show one of your paintings so we can show people what you made.
Okay, so I'll just go into that painting.
Awesome. And what headset are you using?
So this is a Rift, an Oculus Rift.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I have a few sensors out here so that I don't lose my tracking.
Sounds good. And in the meantime, I wanted to ask, so in the last webcast that we did with Paul Rock, he mentioned the list of judges and who they were. You know, I think it's important to say that these judges, like you didn't know any of them. It was all like, you know, as professional as you can be. And yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I feel it's important for people to know that, you know, this is a top grade art competition.
Well, and that's one of the things that I really feel blessed about, because, you know, the first competition was by vote. So it was, you know, a popular vote kind of thing. And then this competition was judged from some pretty global heavy hitters, you know, and just, I don't know, it makes me feel very tingly inside to know that their eyes were on my work, you know, and they appreciated it. So yeah, it really is a nice thing.
Yeah, from London, from everywhere, you know, like judges from everywhere in the world. And I think that's really, really cool. So sorry.
No, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm now super butterflies because now I go to the global round and I compete against the other winners.
True that.
And there are still some winners to come. So the first person, there are a few winners already, and there have been some beautiful pieces. And I'm already, you know, like, oh, I'm going to go up now and compete with the other winners. And it's, you know, it's getting there. It's building the tension. It's like, okay, I gotta up the game, you know? So yeah.
Yeah, totally. So
okay.
Let's go in VR. Okay, awesome. So you're in VR now.
Hey, can you hear me? Yeah, right?
Yeah, we can hear you. Wow, that's awesome.
So welcome to my vortex.
Wow, yeah, that's awesome. So show us around, please.
Okay, so this vortex part is where I started the painting. This is the painting that I submitted. This is the one that I painted in 45 minutes. This is the winning piece, yeah? So I'll give you a little bit of a view, and I'm not exactly sure what you're seeing, but I'm gonna do my best to give you a little tour. So here we go.
Wow, yeah, we're seeing the flower right now.
What wonderful. So here you go. So I started with that mandala in the background, and that mandala is a representation of just life force energy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I really felt that it was important to share that energy with myself. This was an internal journey as well, you know? I spent a lot of inner time conceptualizing this. And so the title of the piece is called The Fertile Journey Within, A Story of Conception. And so if you can notice, what we have here in the galaxy is life. You know, this is the seed of life. This is the masculine seed of life spiraling into the sacred lotus.
Wow.
So let's see here. I'm going to switch the cam so that it's going to be, this is now my cam.
Nice.
And so we're going to follow the journey of the seed. And I am going to just give you another look around so that I could give you the full view here. So everything starts out in space, and then you can see everything evolving. And then it follows itself into the portal of life. And so we'll take this little journey within.
Wow.
Let me get my bearings real quick. Okay. So here we go.
Holy crap. That's like, definitely you can see how 3D paintings immerses you into, like, you know, the multidimensionality of things. Wow, look at that.
So here we are flowing through the
This is
portal.
audio reactive, right?
Yes. And so while, you know, we're going inside, so we're going into the female reproductive system. And I'm just going to give you
Oh,
a
no
look
kidding. Wow.
back. So that's where we came from. And we're in this tunnel of love.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And we're following the seed on its journey to commune with the egg. So here we go, entering another portal of light, and we rise up into the light.
It's like a chakra network or something like that.
This is the womb.
Oh,
This
wow.
is the female reproductive system, and this is semen going into the egg.
Wow.
So you just followed the journey
Of life in a
of
way.
life, and here we are connecting with the egg. You see?
Wow.
Conception right in front of your eyes, and I'm in it, and you can be in it too.
As an
You get
art
it.
piece in itself. That's wow.
Get inside my painting and you'll experience life itself. Look at that.
Wow.
So this is where we came from.
So now you're going back to another part.
Just to give you, no, this is where we came from, just to
Oh.
kind of like, I like to look forward and backwards. I do that when I go hiking and traveling in nature. I like to look in all directions. So I'm giving you the full experience. And so now the egg has its own journey that it travels through the fallopian tubes. Okay, so if you look down that way is a tunnel.
Wow.
And then down this way is another tunnel. And so
yes.
Go ahead.
So is this like an art piece where you can like take different routes to different places? If you.
Yep, we're gonna go down the tunnel. So now we're going down the fallopian tube, and this is where the egg comes from. It gets released. So we're going backwards. Okay, so the egg wouldn't travel this direction. The egg would be going that way to go land into the reproductive center. So here is where the egg is entering. You see all the little
Life force?
Life force. This is now the female energy entering the fallopian tube.
That is amazing.
And this is with the audio reactive brushes because they have movement. So I was able to, you know, I love to use the movement and the,
Yeah.
how things go. So, and now it's the little eggs are getting released from this part here. So here's from the outside. So this is the story of creation, you know. It was fun. I watched a lot of documentaries and videos to replicate my own female reproductive system. I learned more about my insides during this project. So, and this is it from the outside. So you see that it's connected here, and then the eggs are released, and they release themselves, and they follow down this whole tube, and they enter this womb area, you see?
Yeah.
And then so backing out of the whole system now, it's the lotus flower, the sacred lotus, which is a spiritual representation, also called the yoni. And so here's the whole unit, the environment, surrounded in petals. And my intention with this piece is also to be educational and as a meditation piece. So I'm already working on guiding people through the painting in a meditative sense, you know, giving people some positive energy, people looking for help with their fertility journey. So I just did a talk with the South Florida Fertility Expo and shared this painting with them. So we're looking into doing some more projects because this can really help people. You know, they can envision themselves conceiving, people who are having those concerns. So that's the universe.
Wow, that's really great.
Thank you guys. Namaste.
And we're back. Wow, that was incredible. Thank you, Lisa, for that insight behind the scenes take on that beautiful painting.
Thank you.
What
It's
was
fun.
the name of it again?
It's got a few names. It's called the official title is The Fertile Journey Within, and it's also been named the Yoniverse.
The Yoniverse. Wow. Pretty cool name. You know, we covered a lot of ground, and we're very thankful for your time. And I just want to ask you, so what's next for your amazing career? Like, actually, before I ask you that question, I remember that you've been going a lot into VR chat with us with the Moksha crew, and I wanted to ask, like, what do you think of everything that's going on in Miami in terms of art?
I'm having a lot of fun in the Moksha Gallery. The VR chat, it's really, you know, it's great to see that that world is growing, because now we all have another space to play in, you know, as artists, as contributors, and as participants just enjoying it. You know, we are able to go into that space and watch live streams together, and I'm hoping to be able to contribute some art pieces into the world. We're also, you know, the Burning Man possibilities coming up with Burning Man going virtual as well. We just did the remote burn, and that was a lot of fun. We did
Yeah, that was really cool.
a chakra live stream. I did that with Jared Bystrong, and we went through one of my chakra paintings, each of the chakras, and he did the sound journey, and it was just a really fun experience. And for me, it was. I hope other people enjoyed it. You were there. How did you like it?
Oh no, it was incredible, honestly. It was like I was like going through a sound healing ceremony, you know, but with VR, you know, during a Burning Man event online. So it was tremendous. It was really good. So are you thinking of doing any more tournaments in the future, or what do you think is next?
You know, I'm open to expanding and growing, and whatever's available, I'm interested. So, well, I'm going to be competing in the global tournament in the next level now, for when we move up to the next round. So yeah, I'll be competing in that one. And if other tournaments come up, if I'm available and I can swing it, I'm interested. It's fun. It's a real challenge to your brain, your body, and it's fun. I enjoy it. I'm not, the interesting thing is I'm not much of a speed painter. I enjoy taking my time, and with the tournaments you have to move fast. So it definitely shifts me into different directions. So I like it. It moves you. And as far as, I'm looking forward to, one of my desires from the get-go when I started creating pieces is to really bring them into an interactive app so that people could just load the app and experience it on their own. Right now I have some pieces in poly and they can be experienced. Although my intention is to have, for example, that chakra experience. Imagine it's a game, and it's a matter of getting the developer experts to help me put it together. So yeah, that's my big plan.
That is so cool. And I think that it's gonna be such a helpful tool for for everyone. It's a good way to bring healing. And that leads to my last question. But I think this is a really important subject. And here in XR Labs, we're all about solutions. About bringing solutions to the masses. So I was wondering, how do you think like virtual reality, augmented reality, all these technologies that you're working with as an artist, how do you think it's gonna help out with spirituality and with all these with energy work and subjects like that?
It's, I'm getting this question quite often, and I feel that it's another tool. It's another experience. It's bringing another reality into your present moment awareness. So just like a meditation or a song or a movie or a book helps inspire, helps elevate, I believe that the virtual reality and all of these other technologies can do the same. And what it's doing is it's giving you an experience that you had not experienced before. And virtual reality itself is just this other dimensional space. So I just enjoy being able to provide really meditative and uplifting experiences to help guide that person through feeling a little lighter or uplifted. I get a really beautiful response from people when they go into the paintings, and all of my paintings are intended to help elevate. And being in the VR itself, you're in a sense of wonder. Okay. And I think that's the best way for me to describe it. You just become immersed in this wonderment. And when you're in a sense of wonder, your problems or your doubts, your fears, these things may fall away a little bit for that time being, because you're just able to enjoy that curiosity moment. And then you combine that with sound healing, and you combine that with, I do some aromatherapy as well, and combined with energy, Reiki healing. I feel that it's a help to infuse the senses, the mind, body, spirit, to be able to maybe let go of what you're holding on to and just enjoy the moment. And I think that in itself is just really important for healing in general. So, I have no scientific answers for you, but I think it's going in a good direction. And I would like to also add that as long as it's not being overdone, like I don't recommend being immersed in technology for many, many hours in front of a computer with a headset on, with the cell phone, with Bluetooth headphones. So I feel like if we just take everything in small doses, that we're really going to be able to keep a balance. And I think that's the most important part.
Wow, so that was really incredible. We see spirituality and technology as something that maybe we can find solutions and answers in terms of spatial computing. And I think on that note, we're gonna end the podcast today. We want to thank you again, Elisa, for joining us to our second podcast here in XR Labs. If you're wondering how can we find your work and your website.
Okay, so my website is alisachristine.love, and that's ALISSACHRISTINE.love. And I also go by Lover Worldwide, and I have an Instagram, so it's LUVR Worldwide. And also Facebook is Alisa Christine, and Lisa Christine Loves with an S at the end is also an Instagram. So I also have a Twitter that's Lover Worldwide, and I'm starting that one out, so you can find me there as well.
Cool.
Oh, and I have a Twitch channel. I just started that one too.
Twitch. Yeah.
So
that's cool.
That's Alisa Christine, I believe. So yeah, you can find me. Just go to my website. You can find me.
Sweet. That's great. So, okay. And again, guys, if you have any questions for me or Alisa, please visit us at XR Labs on Facebook. As we have a community page called XR Labs Miami chapter. You can find us there. And we also have an Instagram, XR-Labs. And we have we're developing our new website, which we're going to publish soon. You can find this interview in XR-Labs YouTube TV. We want to thank our guest again, Alisa, for coming by, and we wish you good luck in the future, and we look forward to seeing you in the global tournament.
Yeah, sweet. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Peace.
Have a good one.